Now, let's get into the video, and we're going to really highlight that access part first, right? So upon entering the phone here, now that we're in the phone, what do I mean by access? Well, sometimes you don't realize you don't always have to hit the settings button or have settings somewhere on here, or even swipe down to reach the settings icon in the top right corner. What you can do is, well, actually, you do have to get into official settings to do that. What you can do is actually pinch in to zoom, or to zoom out or whatever. So upon doing this, you can get access to your wallpaper and style, your themes, your widgets, and your home screen settings. That's why I said your official settings, you'll have to use the settings icon or swipe up here in the notification panel, use settings, or have settings somewhere on your home page. Alternatively, what you can do is have a blank space. That's my blank space. I press and hold, and you can access this menu again that way. But I like doing the pinch to zoom because it does not have to rely on having blank space. And the first thing we're going to do is go into home screen settings, because this is where you're going to have a lot of fun kind of adjusting some of your navigation so you can access things a whole lot faster. We're going to click on settings, and this is where, of course, you can change your home screen layout. And of course, you have two options. You have home screen and app screens, and home screen only. And that's how it will emulate an iPhone a little bit, not having effectively an app drawer. You can change your grid size, right? You can change your app screen size and your folder size. You can add media page to home screen, which is Google Discover. And you have two options. You can do Google Discover or Samsung News. Now, one of the things you can do if you didn't want it on, if you pinch the zoom again, is once you swipe over, you can turn it off if you don't use Google Discover or Samsung News, or if you just prefer to go into the Google app itself or use your Google bar to access Google. You don't have to have the discovery feed on at all. You can turn this whole side page off, and you'll probably save additional battery life doing that. But just for demonstration purposes, that's how you can actually access more information by having Google Discovery feed on instead of Samsung TV Plus, because Samsung TV Plus is okay, but it's much, much better on a TV or a tablet. The next thing you could do is come down here, and you can change your app icon badges from numbers to dots. And then you can do notification on app icons if you wanted to. I don't do that, but you could if you want to. If you want to super stay up to date on all the notifications for your apps, you can do that. But I think a dot is better because it's less intrusive, less pressure on you, less stressing, or a bunch of numbers rack up, let's say in your emails or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can run into a lot of notifications there. But so just by doing dot, it'll let you know you have some notifications for that app for you to go check out. The next thing I can show you guys is swipe down for notification panel. Turn this on immediately. Okay, and then of course, if you like using landscape, you can turn that on right here, so that way you can rotate your screen to landscape mode. I don't rotate landscape mode, so I don't need it. But back to that swipe down for notification panel, turn this on. The reason why is because that's how you can access your notification panel easily, just like that. Of course, I have a ton of notifications, but you want to do that. Now, the reason why you want to do that is because swiping up accesses your app drawer. If you didn't turn it on, then swiping down or swiping up would actually access your app drawer, and then you have to swipe all the way up here to try to bring your notifications in. So that's why that suggestion is a heavy, heavy plus, so that way you can access both your notification panel and your app drawer freely and stress-free. Speaking of app drawer, if we come in here, this can get a little messy in here. These apps don't, they look clean right now, but this can get a little messy. What you can do is press this button, come up here to settings. Oh, well, actually, it takes you back to settings. My bad. You can click this and click on sort. Come on, focus. And once you click on sort, you can custom order or do alphabetical order. I do alphabetical order because it sorts the apps so much better, and you don't have to worry about not knowing where to find an app. If you know how it's spelled for the most part, you'll be able to easily find it in here. And of course, within your app drawer, you can also bundle apps into folders, so that way they're easier to access. Or all my Samsung apps are in one Samsung folder. All my Google apps is in one Google folder. All my restaurant, foodery apps, they're in one folder. My T-Mobile apps are in one folder. And you can get more and more, you know, incremental if you wanted to in order to organize your app drawer, but that's what I do to organize mine, and that's a very good idea to sort by alphabet in order to organize your apps. As you guys saw, if I swipe down from this side, it reveals my short quick settings and notifications. If I swipe from this side, it reveals my full quick settings panel. Well, if you want to access this, that displays everything for you like that, well, what you want to do is come up here and click on the edit icon. And right here, quick settings, instant access. I have this on. This gives you half and half. So the left side of the camera will be just quick settings, and then the right side of the camera will be your full quick settings. If you turn it on, that's how you can access both and just swipe on either side. And if that gets on your nerves, you can always turn it back off. But if you're relatively mindful in how you swipe on your phone or device, that's one way to easily access everything within your quick settings. If you want to also turn your device on, well, not device, but your display on and off relatively quickly, well, double tap is available, so that way you can do that. Double tap will allow you to easily double tap on and off. So as you see here and as you see here, double tap on and off, and we're good to go. If you want to actually access that, what you have to do is go into settings and then come down here to advanced features, and you come into motions and gestures. And while we're in here, you see double tap to turn on screen, double tap to turn off. Turn those both on so that way you have that access. Sometimes your hands are too full, sometimes your hands are dirty, you don't want to do a lot of navigation on your display or screen. You can't find the power button, or it don't have access to the power button, but you need to turn your screen off. Double tap, but you have to have a blank space in order to do so, to turn off the screen. As you saw with me, you can't just double tap anywhere because it won't work. You got to have a blank spot. So that's the only caveat to double tap to turn off screen. Double tap to turn on is simple, just from a blank screen always on display. Wherever you can double tap, it'll illuminate the display. Now, alternatively, you can lift to wake as well. So when you pick the phone up, it will then wake the device. You can do that if you want. It just may consume more battery life, because depending on how often you pick your phone up, you're going to be doing a lot of waking up of the device. So that's one to be mindful of if you're conscious of battery life, for sure. I like alerts when phone picked up, it'll do a little vibrate. Although I've noticed it does not really alert me when I vibrate. When I pick up the phone. So I haven't really noticed any vibration. So I'm actually going to turn that off here live on video. Mute with gestures, which is nice, right? Mute incoming calls by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. That's a nice feature. And if you're good at doing that, and again, it's all about being mindful of all these features, because Samsung throws so much at us. But if you can remember that, it comes in clutch. You don't have to fiddle with this, or, whatever you're doing, just whoo or whoo, and you'll be good to go. This is my favorite, palm to capture, because all you got to do is swipe across the screen. As you see, it took that screenshot. Now I'm going to delete that, and I can show you guys another video how to include that delete button over there. But that is how you can access many different features and navigation with your Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus. Now, if we want to continue down the road of being able to reach and access things, I would say come in here to display. Oh no, you know what? Display is going to be next, but I should highlight it anyway. Display, and if you come down here to navigation, edge panel. We're going to start with edge panel. If you come here to edge panel, you can access additional apps. So no matter where you're at, you can still have a suite of apps that you can access. And whether it's, redundancy to have certain apps that you have on your home display here in your edge panel, or other apps that you just want to have access to that you don't want to flood your home screen with, you can access them with edge panel. So I definitely suggest turning it on. And while you have edge panels on, there's other things you can access, such as making GIFs, essentially, or taking screenshots in this way, rectangle, oval, animation, which would be a GIF. You can pin stuff. You can have access to just quick little things such as add detailed event, right? Take a screenshot, let's instantly go to video or photo. You can stopwatch timer. You can have somebody on speed dial. You can create a contact. So Samsung actually thought that edge panel out and included that edge panel, I believe, with One UI 6, because it wasn't there before. So that's also a great feature. And if you want to know the weather wherever you're at, if you're not on your home screen, you can have it as part of your edge panel. And as you guys can see here, it's currently 58 degrees where I'm at. High will be 61. You got your clipboard, so on and so forth. There's so many other edge panels that you can take advantage of, that you can download and or even purchase. And that's a great way to continue to navigate and access your phone. Navigation bar is the next one. I would suggest turning this on because it's a lot better than the buttons. As you guys can see here, you get swipe gestures or buttons. Swipe gestures is where we're at now, whether it's Google or iPhone or any other OEM. Swipe gestures is where we're at. Do this with your Samsung device. It's so much better. It's so much more clean. And as you guys can see, I still can access circle to search, right? And you can still access your assistant app, swiping from the corner, just like that. And I use Gemini. But this is great because it's so much better. It's so much more quote unquote futuristic. But I just think it's much better. And if you still have, if you're new to using navigation gestures with a Samsung device, you can come into more options. You can turn on your swipe from the bottom. As you guys can see, it gives you, you can have hints on. You can adjust the sensitivity of gestures. You can have, and that's what it means by hints. That's what it would look like. It would emulate the buttons just like that. You just have to swipe up in order to access that. I think that's a little bit more cumbersome than just the typical one navigation bar. And that's for the most part how you can access a lot of stuff on your device. I'm going to end it with this last one. And this is how you can speed up your touch, your press and holds. So you see it's pretty fast, really responsive, just like that, right? If I do it again, you see that's fast. I didn't have to press and hold that long. Press it, boom, just like that, right? So come back into settings, swipe out, we come down here to accessibility. Click on accessibility, click on interaction and dexterity, and then you come down here to touch and hold delay. Change it, this is the lowest it'll go, is 0.2. Change it to 0.2 seconds. You can, and that you have to customize in order to do so. Very short is 0.3, and you notice that extra 0.1 second when pressing and holding. So do custom, because custom is what you're going to end up being able to use in order to get those speedy touch responses. So I wanted to show you guys that real quick as well with your Samsung Galaxy S24 device. Now let's jump into the next thing, is the ease of wallpaper changes.